Hi, my name is Kathy Boyum. Together with my husband Jeff, we're the King's Kids coordinators in the United States. And 21 years ago, God called us into the ministry of King's Kids. At that time, we had 3 children. After that, we eventually had 4 more. And it's been an amazing joy and blessing for our family to be involved together in a ministry that has really transformed each one of us spiritually, and also given us the great blessing of ministering together locally and in our country and all around the world. And since then, I've also had 1 son-in-law and a grandchild. So now we are 3 generations linked together. Our family desire, each one of us personally and as a family, is to live to bring joy to God's heart every day. And the motto being that we are blessed by God so that we can be a blessing. And many years ago, when our children were young, we ministered in China together. One of the ways that God used our family there was to really be able to declare to the Chinese people that children are a blessing from God, because they only have 1 child per family there. And they were amazed at the time that we had 6 children. We also worked together in the streets of Chennai, India, working with street boys. And more recently, all of us, except for 2 sons, were ministering together in Ethiopia. And it's a huge joy to see that God has been at work in the lives of every one of my children. And now, even most of them being adults, they're continuing on, living a life to bring joy to His heart. And again, like I said, blessed to be a blessing. It's pretty wonderful to be here with my international family members in the King's Kids family, and over again I hear story after story after story about how God comes through providing finances, about how God changes circumstances to enable His glory to spread, about how His love is being shared all over the world with some of the poorest people in the world and some of the richest people in the world. And His glory comes through this ministry because He lives inside of the people that are living to bring joy to His heart. And as they pour themselves out for Him, and as they listen to and obey His voice, just amazing things are happening all around the world. A number of years ago, when we had 4 children, God called us to lead a King's Kids team to Mexico. And one of our ministry events was to minister in a very dilapidated village in the middle of the desert. But when we arrived there and started going door to door to invite people to come to our ministry program, there was a huge dust storm that made it impossible to even see much in front of your face. And so all the children came back to our van, and the adults on our team said, we can't go forward with this ministry, no one will come, the equipment is wrecked. But the children had great faith, and they said, no, God has called us here, we need to do what He's called us here to do. So they prayed, and after they prayed for a matter of minutes, the dust storm completely stopped, and we were able to not only do our ministry program once, but even though we were tired, hungry, thirsty, and it was late at night, the children on the team wanted to do it a second time because they saw new people coming and they wanted to share the love of Jesus with them. And a number of people became Christians that day because of the faith of the children and God answering prayers. Being here with my African brothers and sisters has been incredibly joyful, and there's a couple of things that especially come to my mind. They're some of the most servant-hearted people that I've ever met. There's many Africans that have been working very hard in servant-hearted ways to bless the rest of us and enable all this to happen. And another thing that's just been incredible to me is the joy of the Lord, especially during worship. I think the Western world needs to learn from our African brothers and sisters, because when we worship together with them, there's singing, there's dancing, there's joy, there's a party going on. And that has just been tremendous for me.